Alright, so what we got here is the interior has been gutted from the 71. Rear defog. Those are kind of rare. No rust. They're surface rust. But the floors are solid, like everything else. All that's going to be coming out. The whole heater box is going to be coming out for vintage air. NDP dash. It's also going to have Dakota Digital RTX gauges. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this 4-speed hump out. We're going to scrape off all that caulking with a scraper. Going to see how we can remove this without messing up the floorboard or the tunnel. And best part, I've got a couple of spot weld cutters from Harbor Freight for $4.95. So I didn't need to spend no $40, $50 just to take this tunnel off. Now if anybody's looking for an original 4-speed tunnel hump, that'll be up for sale because it's not going to be reused, but at least it's a GM piece. And then this whole thing is going to be dynamited on the inside completely. All right, let's get started. Probably easier to heat this up with a heat gun or a little torch. Actually, not really, because it comes off really easy. Look at that. And then what I'm going to do, you can see the line right here. What I'm going to do is, I don't think you guys want to watch me clean this up, so I'm going to pull all this stuff off. Then get me a wire wheel so I can see where all the pinch welds are. And then I'll show you how to cut them out. So let me clean all this stuff off. Alright, so once you take all that sealant off, this is what you're going to end up with. All the way around. You know what's crazy is how they almost made the metal from the hump fit into all the little creases from the trans tunnel that's always really deformed and crinkled up like that. That's pretty crazy. Alright, so let me get a wire wheel and clean this stuff up. Alright, so once you use a wire wheel on your drill, or you can do it by hand, you can see all the little spot welds on there. And those are what you're going to want to drill out. I don't really see any around the whole thing, but I'll find out once I start punching all these little ones out. I don't really have a stand or anything to hold the camera while I'm doing this, so that part you're gonna miss out, but you're just basically just drilling out the spot welds. Also, let me tell you one very important thing. If you're using cheap spot cutter bits, like I said, these are Harbor Freight, it is mandatory that you put some pilot holes in there with a drill bit. Just use a small one so that it can sit in there and do its work, because if you don't, if these start to walk, the first thing they do is break. So you want to make sure you put a little guide in there for that to follow, and then let it cut on its own. Alright, so as you can see, the other side's already done. Now it's just time to start popping on this side. And some of these you can barely see the spot welds. I mean, barely. That's just one big huge one right there. Alright, let's see if we can finish taking this off. So I did all my little pre-drills. You got to be real careful because this is real thin. You can drill a hole really fast. That's how some of these end up getting. Then that cutter works really fast, so it'll cut through real quick. So I don't know if there's any more from here to here, but I'm going to find out once I get these two off, and then we'll be able to figure that out. See what I mean? See how fast that drilled right through that? It's just stupid. You can't even feel it. See, I did real little bit. Maybe that should be it right there. That came up pretty easy. See, that came up pretty easy. So that is the last spot weld right there. Look at that. Hello. Man, that's a big hole. That's a really big freaking hole. And you can see they did it with a cutting torch. Look how jagged all the cuts are from the factory. It's all done with a cutting torch. See, some of these were just right. And some of them just cut through like nothing, which is okay. You can MIG weld that back together. So, if anybody's interested in an original 1971 4-speed hump, this one's for sale. Just message me. and let me know if you need it or not. 1971. All right, let's get this LS swap started. Oh, and by the way, the motor and transmission out of this is for sale also. This is just a 3-speed. Still can't believe how huge this hole is. It's going to be fun trying to patch that up. Alright folks, thanks for watching.